I have a 6-month-old daughter, and when she was 1 month old, I would look at her, and then it would be her birthday, and then everybody would be saying, and me too, oh look, she's 1 month old, and I'd be looking at her, and her little nostril was like the size of the eraser of a pencil, and I was looking at how small her nostrils were and how gentle, and I was thinking I would kill myself to just have clean air enter these nostrils because of how delicate and how small her if you have a kid, you understand. If not, you'll know soon. But her fingernails, it was like you couldn't even make that detail with like a replica. Like, it was too real. Like, her little, I've never seen fingernails and nostrils so small. But I was catching myself calling her 1 month old. And then when she was 2 months old, I was saying, okay, now she's 2 months old. And I asked myself, she's not old. Why do we say that? So that was the question that sparked all this. And then I did research, and I learned that, now, either you'll say I'm crazy or you won't, but just, you can have your own opinion. Time's not real, and time's created by this world, not by the Most High for our benefit, but to hinder and distract us. Now, let me explain. Time. What do you think time is? Well, I'm talking to myself, so if you ask me, I would think time is just like past, present, and future, right? Because that's what we're told to believe. But think about it. There is no such other thing than the now. You can think about the past in the now, or you could think about the future in the now, right? You could think about the past, and look, think about this. You could think about something traumatizing that happened to you 5 years ago that you saw, or something happened to you. And if you wanted to think about it right now really hard, you could almost make that feeling from 5 years ago feel real in your heart, and you could feel pain and sadness and anxiety, and it can make you shell up just by thinking about that feeling. Even though it happened in the past, you brought that to the now, and the now is all we have, right? So if you think about the future, if you have bills due next week, next month, and you're worrying about it, you could just be mowing, making money. You could just be sitting, breathing, relaxing. You could just be looking outside like I am, or you could just sit there and just stress and think about, well, if I miss that payment, then I'm fucked on the next. Sorry, I cuss. If I miss that payment, then my next one's messed up, and you could just you could go any way you want with it, right? And it's going to stress you out in the now. So that's one example. And then also, if you go even deeper, think about what comes with time. How many times are you thinking, oh, I have so much time, I'm not in a rush, everything is going as it is, as it should be? You're never thinking, oh, I'm not. And the news doesn't want you to think that. If you look at all the things they tell you, the urgency, the inflation, this, all that, they're trying to stress you out, worry like you have no time, make you feel like you're running out of time, make you feel like things take forever to get. So you think that things take a long time, building a business, getting out of debt. You think all these things take time. If you want to go into debt, that's a whole nother conversation about how this was rigged from the start. But you think you have no time. You're running out of time. You think that you're wasting time. So all day you're thinking in the past, you're thinking in the future, you're not in the now. And when you're not in the now, you're weak. When you're in the now, you're the most powerful, and you're in the flow state. My best videos have been when I'm in flow. The times I disappear and don't get this shit is when my mind's in the past or in the future. I'm looking at my old views. I'm thinking, oh, my views aren't as high as they used to be. That plays with your mind. The views don't matter, just like the money doesn't matter. Think about how people get rich and they go crazy. No one talks about how you get views and then you could go crazy. This life is like having a job and not having the job description given to you, and just being pushed out into the world and say, figure it out. And then everything has been put against you to put you behind, to make you figure this out at 30, because it all begins with separation at birth, because we don't know our true father in the beginning. So we are born into this world. We're not for this world, but we're born into this world. Everything is a charade. All these credit card companies, all these loan sharks, the college is just saying, you know what, I'll accept you to pay me $50,000 to come get a piece of paper, and then you can spend the next 5-10 years paying off this paper I just gave you. I'm going to accept you to give me $60,000. Think about that shit. These colleges are saying, I accept you to give me your money, to let you borrow it on top of interest, and then for the next 5-10 years, if you get a job, you can pay me back, and then you figure it out. Good luck. I mean, I went to college, and I'm not using that shit. I keep cussing, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I'm just sharing. You can go to college if you want to. You can do anything that you want to. Time not real. We could talk about money next. But just think about this. All that you have is the now. So example, if you really, really want something in the future, and you're not aware of all this stuff, you're going to feel miserable until you get it. And it might take you years until you get what you want and you're miserable the entire time. Or if you can remember the feeling of if you used to have it before, or like the whole point of this video, if you can change, because the secret is the feeling. If you can remember what it felt like to have that, or if you can imagine what it feels like to have the thing you're wanting, plus a little bit more, because we want the thing that you want to be normal. Like if you want 100,000, let's try to make you imagine what it feels like to have 150,000. How would you move about your day when you go to the grocery store? Would you look at price tags, or would you just buy the nice food that you want that's healthy, the mangoes and the good ribeye steak, the grass-fed, grass-finished one, right? You just want to buy the nice food and just leave. You don't got to worry about price. You don't feel like you're in a rush. You're just going about your day happy. You can spend time. When's the last time you woke up and you just walked up to your mom and kissed her and said, "I love you, Mom"? Well, when's the last time you woke up and just got on your phone and just saw someone getting the fuck beat out of them on Facebook World Star Fights, or you saw the stress about the war going on and all this stuff, right? It's the same amount of fake time that we could have used, but we spent a lot of time stressing, worrying, rushing. But in reality, we're not getting anywhere any quicker. Think about this. If the goal is to get into heaven, and there's all these cars, we're just going in circles fast. We're getting nowhere faster. So if all that made sense to you, I'll give you one more concept to either make you believe me or not believe me, to help understand this dude is just saying that time's not real. But think about it. If I'm the fool, then what are you? So if we think in this physical world that time is linear, meaning a straight line, meaning there's a past, a present, and a future, but we just proved that there is only the now. If anything, our spiritual side uses the idea of linear time, the past, the present, and the future, to help our physical body understand this experience on this earth that we're going through, because it's easier for us to learn and to get discernment from our decisions. And if we're thinking about it from stuff in the past, and then we're planning for the future. Like I said, this whole video has been about the past and the present could stress you out, but on the opposite flip side, just as much, 50%, you can make it to your advantage, and you could spend that time thinking about how grateful you were in the past, not knowing what you had when you had it, because you maybe don't have it now, right? Or in the future, instead of worrying about what could go wrong, you can worry about what could go right. And that's where it gets even deeper, but this video would be too crazy if we go there. So time's not real, but if you want it to, look at me, I do lawn care all day. I tell people I'll be there at this time all day. I play by this game. I'm of this world, right? Just like you might be, but I'm not for this world. So I could see the discernment between it. And that's what makes the game fun. And until you figure this out, you'll just keep coming back to this world, to this earth, with Krispy Kreme donuts and Chase Bank and wars and all this crazy stuff that's happening. You'll just keep showing back here until you figure this out. So maybe I'm wrong, but again, if I'm the fool, then what are you? I just wanted to share this. I gotta wait for it to dry so I can go mow. Peace. When she wears a hat, she looks like me. But look, this baby's not old. Even my dad and my mom, they're not old. They've never been their age before. It's the first time they've been 60. It's the first time I've been 30. This is the first time this baby's been 6 or 7 months. So I say she's 6 months new. I'm 30 years new. And I'll tell you right now, if I'm lying, may a coconut fall on my head or a shark attack me right now, I am happier now, and I'm more understanding, and I'm more calm and peaceful than I was at 18. Just like the world has everything backwards, they say. Seeing is believing. We know that's not true. We walk by faith, not by sight. They say ignorance is bliss. No, it's not. They're the ones who are dinking us, and they're telling us to be ignorant about it and that it's blissful. I don't think so. And if you keep telling yourself you're old, subconsciously, what are you going to become? What do we operate from? Exactly how we know and everything? Or is it our subconscious reactions when we're talking, when we're fighting, when we're arguing, when you don't have time to plan? Everything is subconscious. So if you keep telling yourselves how old you are and you're celebrating how old you are, that's a prayer for you to get old. Okay, it's getting deep. All right, peace.